America needs veterans more than ever. As a veteran business owner, you are equipped with a focus, professionalism, and dedication that is rare in the marketplace. We are looking for former military, make it happen business leaders like you to join forces with a marketplace mission called Veterans Business Force, a division of Network in Action Business Force based in Houston, Texas. We are rallying patriots to work together to grow opportunities for yourself, each other, and our community. We meet once a month at upscale venues to share our vision and align with fellow warriors. Together we are stronger. Google Veteran Business Force to find us before we find you. We are Veterans Business Force, on mission and locking arms.
I usually have the same kind of talk because it's already been vetted.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. Well, nice to meet everyone. My name is Paul Miranda. As far as business goes, I actually started my first business about 7 years ago in real estate. I started flipping houses out in El Paso, Texas, where I was stationed at. Was able to do really well from that. From there, I saved up a lot of that money, bought some apartment buildings out there, and it was kind of nice because of my connection with the base. I actually had, the Sergeant Major Academy for the Army is over there, so I had members from the Japanese military, German military, Australian military as my renters, and they actually paid just a straight lease for a year as they had, people going in and out of the academy over there. So it was really, really good, and then from there, COVID really kicked my butt, right? All of a sudden, some of my properties in Indiana and things like that, renters were losing their jobs, not on their fault, right? I mean, a lot of them work in the restaurants. So I've been struggling a little bit through that, and I'm still kind of recovering from that. But kind of as another dream of mine was to own oil and gas assets. So this year I actually bought my first, got my first lease, and we're drilling my first well like right now. So we should know by the end of this month if that's a producer. The geologist and everything that we spent to do the studies on that is very positive. Right? So what's that? About 23, 24 miles southeast of Albuquerque. Yeah. And so kind of through all that, right, a lot of those businesses are kind of a long-term kind of thing, right? It's not something that I can feed my girls with right now. So what I do on an everyday basis is actually life insurance. And it's actually been a good synergy. So, the way I got into real estate was by syndicating funds from friends and family, and then other referrals, right? SEC requires that there is a prior relationship, and I cannot sell securities because I do not have a license to do that. So it was just kind of showing them kind of a deal that I'm in. And, you need at least 6 months relationship with them in order to be able to do that. So that's how we were able to kind of raise some funds through our network of people. And so they started participating with me, saw some success. And one of the things that my cousin, who's also kind of my business mentor, he says, production, protection, and perpetuate. That's the 3 things you want to provide for your client, right? And so I've always got the production part, but the protect and perpetuate I didn't quite have. And now with life insurance, it kind of rounds out my philosophy for my clients, right? So let's get them into some good investments, whatever they want to do. Then from there, move that into a way that's protected. And then if they have children, how do we now create generational wealth? And I found that life insurance is actually, should be a strong part of that foundation, not just, there's always a estate plan that you do with a lawyer, right? But the vehicles that do that, I believe life insurance should be a part of that within your estate plan. So that's why I do what I do. And a big part that helped me really believe in what I'm doing, and I was just telling Katie this morning, is I had a call early in the morning, and this lady calls me. I had no idea who she was, so I get the call. I'm ready to pull up quotes. I've got my medical questionnaire ready to go. And it turns out her husband died last week. And he was not a customer of mine, right? So she's crying. She didn't know what to do, and I couldn't help her. I just couldn't help her. There's nothing I could do to do it. And what made me realize was I need to become a better service provider for these people, right? There's solutions out there, and they're depending on me to do that, right? It might be cost, it might be, maybe they don't understand the importance of it, and I didn't do a good enough job of explaining why it's important, but that I felt like it was on me, right? And I just don't want to have that feeling again. And I have no idea who her husband is, right? And I don't know why he saved my number, because she called me out of nowhere. And so that was a big reminder today of what I'm doing is important, right? And I need to become better at handling the client's objections so that their loved ones don't feel what this lady was feeling, which then put a little bit of guilt on me. So that's my why and my little history of why I do what I do. So thanks, guys.
So who's your ideal client? Who do we need to be looking for to send business and prospects to you?
Sure. Okay. Well, I think the easy one is anyone that doesn't have life insurance, right? And one of the things that I found is people are now moving towards remote jobs. And with remote jobs, what employers are doing is they're still providing the health, like dental, eye, vision, and stuff like that. But life insurance is one of the ways that employers have been able to go to a remote work environment and maybe cut back on some of the costs from that. So I have a lot like, hey, I got this new employer, I quit my old job, but this one doesn't offer life insurance. So that's one. Another thing I would say too is if you have existing life insurance, I would say, a 30-minute overview on what that looks like, what your policy is getting you. Because ever since COVID, life insurance is no longer something that you only can take advantage of when you pass. There's living benefits now. So when COVID hit, all of a sudden people had hospitalizations that were kind of longer in duration, and they didn't have insurance that they could tap into to help cover those medical bills. So your life insurance now can cover those medical bills while you're still alive. Also disability, it also supplements disability, right? So if there's 6 types of daily activities that if you can't perform 2 out of 6, the insurance will allow you to tap into a percentage of your death benefit to help cover your disability. So yeah, also, I've seen a lot of this too, but they have increasing premiums. So you think your first 5 to 10 years you're paying so much, and then 10 years down the line, I have people say my coverage went from $100 a month to $400 for the same face value. And one, that's a terrible thing to be surprised about, right? But we can get you into something like that, and your insurability changes after 10 years, right? Because age and health determine your insurability. So 10 years down the line, you're trying to save or pay the same amount, and so it just kind of hurts. And part of the state of Texas is anyone on Social Security is also someone that I can help quite a bit, and actually veterans too. I think a lot of us feel that maybe there's like VA stuff we can go for, and I think there's just probably more like better ones out there with the providers I have. I'm contracted with 20 different providers in Texas, so that if you're looking to shop, just come see me. I'll give you 20 of them, and you can run with that and see if anything's better after those 20. So.
Fantastic. Does anybody have any questions for Paul?
I need a business card.
Okay, so I actually put something on the...
You're fired.
Yeah. Okay, so my email address is paul.miranda, Miranda, @pdmlifeandlegacy.com. And my Houston phone number, one second, is 832-773-0235.
Website?
Website is pdmlifeandlegacy.com.
We love our veterans. If you're a veteran and own a business, you don't want to miss what's coming up. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Veterans, our whole country owes you a huge thank you for all you have done for us. We have a very special guest today, Kathy Bowersox, and she is here to tell us all about the Veterans Business Force. Kathy, welcome to What's Next Houston. Tell us about Veterans Business Force.
I'm glad to, Jimmy Sue. Thank you so much for asking. So that is an organization that I have built. It's part of Network in Action, which is a very different business networking organization from anything else out there. And it is a group that I formed strictly for military veterans. I feel like it's a small way that I can thank them for their service and give back to them now that they're civilians.
Can you tell us about your organization, Network in Action?
It's a very different networking organization from anything that most people have seen before. We do things very differently. We don't get up and do elevator speeches. Instead, we do activities in our meetings that help our members get to know each other better, that help our members understand who good clients are for each other, that help our members understand how to refer business to each other and help them build their relationships. And so we do something different in every single meeting. We also like to add value for them, so we do things like help them identify their ideal clients, help them with their marketing, help them run their business. My background is that I'm a strategic business advisor, and so I often use that experience as well to help my members in all my Network in Action groups be successful. The other thing is we are the only networking organization out there that gives a guaranteed return on our members' investment.
Kathy, tell us how a veteran can contact you and learn more about how to join your fantastic organization.
They can reach out to me at Kathy, that's Kathy, at networkinaction.com, or they can go to networkinaction.com and search for the Veterans Business Force under Visit a Group. If they're interested in my other groups as well, they can look for West Chase Business Force or Sugar Land Business Force. And lastly, they can call me at 713-899-8615.
Thanks again for joining us today, Kathy.
I was really glad to be here, and Jimmy Sue, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity to spread the words about what we're doing to help veterans be successful in their businesses.